There's an ongoing battle between non-renewable energy and renewable energy, one that could shape the future of our planet, yet is still so underreported on. Today we'll be looking at who's winning and what the future holds. On one side, we have renewable energy such as wind, solar, and tidal. On the other, we have non-renewable energy dominated by fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. The question is, who's winning? Well, of course, when looking at just the percentages, non-renewables still make up 80% of the 438 million megawatt hours we use each and every day, leaving just 87.6 million megawatts produced by renewables. And while that might seem like a small slice, it's growing exponentially, and that's what we'll be looking at today. But first, just a quick history lesson to understand the stakes. In case you've been living under a rock for the past 150 years, the energy world has been dominated by fossil fuels, starting with the coal in the Industrial Revolution, then moving to oil and natural gas in the 20th century. These energy sources fueled by the rise of modern civilization, but as we've seen, it comes at a cost, which is the environmental damages, pollutants, and climate change that affects us today. So what's the winner's prize? Well, victory for fossil fuels means billions for large non-renewable executives and cheaper short-term costs for both consumers and businesses. While victory for renewable energy still probably means billions for renewable executives. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. If money isn't on the line, most wouldn't care. But it would also mean a world where we don't need to worry about rising sea levels or polluted airs, and where theoretically energy can be a whole lot cheaper and abundant than it is today. So fast forward to today, and the renewable energy revolution is here. But are they winning? Maybe. It's gaining serious traction. Over the last decade, the investments in renewable energy has skyrocketed. In 2023, global investments in clean energy reached over $500 billion. That's more money being poured into wind, solar, and battery storage than ever before. Not only is the investment soaring, but the cost of renewable is dropping faster than anyone anticipated. The cost of solar panels has decreased by more than 90% over the past 2 decades. Wind energy costs have fallen by 70%, and it's no wonder in many parts of the world building new solar or wind farms is now cheaper than operating existing coal plants. So what does the future look like? Well, the energy transition is already happening. More countries are setting ambitious net zero targets aimed to reduce their carbon emissions to zero by 2050 or earlier. This means massive investments in clean energy infrastructure. Not only are we seeing more solar panels and wind turbines, but we're also seeing massive shifts in energy storage, smart grids, and electric transportation. By 2030, the world's electric vehicle fleet is expected to grow to over 145 million cars. That's a major shift from the gas guzzlers of today. Now, renewables aren't having some overnight takeover, but the trajectory is clear. The global shift to clean energy is happening fast, and non-renewable energy market is slowly shrinking as cleaner alternatives take over. By 2050, some projections suggest that 80% of global energy could come from renewable sources. That's a big win for today's underdog. However, the road ahead is not without challenges. The transition to renewable energy requires overcoming obstacles like energy storage, grid reliability, and scaling up technologies at massive pace. Climate change continues to be a pressing issue, with extreme weather events reminding us that the clock is ticking. And with the world inching closer to conflict, it's important we keep our eyes on the real problem. So what's the verdict in the war between renewable and non-renewable energy? As of now, non-renewables are still a clear winner. But looking at trends from the last decade, it seems renewable energy will surpass non-renewables in the next decade, still giving us time to solve our climate crisis. Thanks for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe.